What's going on, folks? So, Bravelord are back with a new single here called Brave Force. I'm really looking forward to this. I always look forward to new music from Bravelord. So, without further ado, I'm looking forward. I'm excited to give this a listen. So, let's do just that right now. Rangers, go. very interesting format with the song. Kind of having the verse and then the chorus, and then a very very extended musical interlude, if you will, and then kind of going right into the final chorus. I mean, a smidge of like a pre-chorus kind of, and then the final chorus, and that's about it as far as the vocal melodies and vocals and stuff go. Which honestly, I think that was to the song's benefit, because the guitar work in this song was awesome. Really, it was the highlight for me. I love the kind of opening riffs, that kind of chugging, like galloping almost sort of riff there. Really kind of sets the stage, brings some nice energy and momentum to the song. And then you have many other sections where the guitar is just really kind of riffing there. And then again, that whole interlude section was just awesome. Like, I especially love the kind of guitar melody slash solo, like immediately after that first chorus was just tight, but all the way through, I just really, really liked it. It was kind of neat how they broke it up a little bit, after the guitars just ripping for a while, and solos and melodies and all that stuff. You kind of get like some keyboard in there. I did think that transition between like the guitar just ripping, that transition from that into the kind of keyboard, it was like a little bit abrupt. I think maybe that could have been smoothed out just a touch, just to kind of just bridge that gap just a little bit. It just feels almost like you hit a brick wall, and then the keyboard starts, and it's just a very, very brief moment of kind of, it takes you back a little bit, but then you kind of get back into it with that keyboard, and then the guitar kind of chimes in along with it. So yeah, just that little transition, I felt like it could have been smoothed out just a touch, just to kind of ease us through that, from that guitar into that keyboard section. But once that transition's done, I like that kind of keyboard. It kind of is a nice change of pace for the song. And then the guitar kind of chimes in again and goes for a bit and all that good stuff. So musically, like I really did like this song quite a bit. The guitar was just the highlight. The guitar work was just phenomenal in this song. Really, really loved that. And then the little things thrown in with the keyboard and that one spot in the middle, and then other times you kind of hear it, going a little bit here and there, just added a nice little flavor to the song. Musically, I enjoyed the song quite a bit. Where I feel like the song falters a little bit is in like the vocal melodies. It just felt like they could have been a little bit stronger. And one thing I'm not sure is because there's two things. It felt like the vocal melodies could have been like maybe a smidge stronger, but at the same token, I feel like part of that is that the vocals sound kind of like subdued a little bit. Like the vocals sound like a little bit like weak. And I'm not saying like that's like in the voice itself. I'm saying perhaps like in the mix or whatnot. It felt like the vocals need a little bit of like a boost, like in the mix. It just felt like it sounded like a little bit subdued almost. So you have this like power and this energy of like the guitar going and all that good stuff. But then when the vocals come in, it just didn't quite match that power, that energy. And I think part of that is just there in the mix. Like the vocals could have been mixed like a bit fuller and a bit higher up in the mix, so that they pop, that they don't feel like they're, it's almost like the vocals, like in those old school like movies, or like the ninja movies, or just other stuff too, where the person's like underwater and they have that like bamboo or whatever that they're kind of breathing through. You see like the bamboo sticking up. They show like a pond or a lake or something, like the ninjas like sneaking into the stronghold or whatnot, and you see like this bamboo stick kind of just like moving through the water because like they're under and they're just breathing from it, and they get to the thing and get out and do what, sneak around, whatever. It kind of felt like that's what the vocals were like in this song. It's like the bass line for the song was like the water, and the guitar and stuff like that. That was like just where the level that was on, and the top of the bamboo straw is like where the vocals should have been, but instead the vocals are like the person underwater breathing through the bamboo. So it just felt like it was just under where it should have been, instead of like up here, like commanding the song vocally. So with that being said, it's hard to necessarily gauge the melodies to an extent, just because of that, just because the vocals weren't like at the level sound wise or in the mix wise where I think they should have been. So that may have helped a little bit with the melodies. But even still, I don't know. It's hard to gauge. I do feel like the melodies could have still been maybe a little bit stronger, particularly like in the chorus, because, for example, like in the chorus, you hear like the chant kind of vocals say brave, force, that sounded strong in the mix. But then the lead vocals kind of go after that and do some of the chorus there. And then it's like that volume or that richness or whatever, it like drops. And then you kind of get that brave, force again. And then the vocals start up again after that. And it just kind of dips again. And so it takes away a little bit from just the song itself, and I think from the melodies. And so it'd be interesting to hear if like those vocal levels were like where they should be, how the melodies would sound then, because they just get a little bit lost in the shuffle. It just doesn't match that power and energy of like the music and the sound of the song. So that's like my biggest critique about it. Because musically it's great, and that's why I said at the beginning, it almost was it was to the song's benefit how they had a bit of an unorthodox setup with intro music, verse, chorus, very long musical interlude stretch, basically straight into the final chorus, and then some like interspersed screams to kind of follow that through the end of the song. So by not having like verse chorus, singing in the bridge, chorus, it was kind of to the song's benefit to just let the music and the guitar work really shine. So yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts on this. Not my favorite Bravelord song, but the talent is still very much there, and I just think maybe there in the mix some things got a little bit lost in the shuffle. I always look forward to new music from a Bravelord. So anywho, let me know, folks, in the comments down below, what do you think of this song here? How does it stack up for you compared to previous releases from Bravelord? Let's talk about it. I'll catch you next time. Ranger out.